If you want to travel abroad, you're going to need a passport. And of course, that also means you're going to have to take the dreaded passport photo. They're always pretty unflattering because they're a head-on, kind of straight, no-shadow shot. And if you're like most of us, you're going to go to a drugstore or some little photo shop, and for $10 or $15, they're going to take a mugshot, give it to you, and you're stuck with it for the next 10 years. But with the advent of digital cameras and computers, it's possible to take your own photo, and that offers two advantages. First of all, although the picture by itself is not going to be terribly flattering, at least you can take a couple of them and pick the one where you look the best. In addition, you're going to save some money because really you just have to print these things up, and that's probably, I don't know, $1 to print up a photo sheet compared to $10 or $15, and that can really add up if you're doing this for an entire family. Well, it doesn't require a lot to do this, but if you look at the government site, which is travel.state.gov/passport, it can be a little intimidating because they'll show you a diagram that has all sorts of measurements on it, and it's kind of like a little confusing. Where does the eyes go? Where does the chin have to be? That sort of a thing. They'll also show you a lighting diagram, which is excellent, but it's the setup that a professional photographer would have, not just someone in their living room. But it's possible with just a simple digicam, some photo paper, which you could even buy at the dollar store, and a regular inkjet printer to print up a passport photo that's legit and legal, cheaper, and hopefully better looking. The first thing you need to know is that you need a white or off-white background. Now in our house, we don't really have any walls that are white or off-white anymore. So I kind of thought about options, and I found this piece of poster board. This is actually the back side of the poster board because the kids had a project on the other side, but that little kind of price taggy thing on the back will be covered when they stand in front of it, so no big deal. So this is what we did. We placed our subject, in this case my daughter, in front of the little poster board, and we took her picture. Now you might, if the subject is wearing glasses, you might have to have her tilt her head a little bit up or down so you don't get a big flash glare in there, but it's really pretty simple. Okay, here we are at the website epassportphoto.com, and it's a very simple website. They do have an option where you, for a pretty reasonable price, can buy the prints after you're done creating them, but you can also print them yourselves if you want and save another $1 or $2 or $3. So what we want is we want the United States because that's where I'm doing this from. It's a 2x2 photo, and we're going to click here, get my passport photos, and this little diagram here shows you how to take the photo. It's really pretty handy because you don't want a lot of extra light that's creating shadows, so you want to turn off your overhead lighting to a reasonable degree. Obviously you have to have some light going on, and light from the sides can be bad too. So find a place where you have not a lot of direct light, more subdued light, so you don't get shadows. And the person needs to stand against a white or an off-white background. In our house we didn't have one, so we used the poster board. You as the photographer should be about 4 feet or a little bit more distance from the subject, because if you're too close you're going to distort their images and they're going to all kind of flash burn and all that kind of stuff. So be a little bit further and use your telephoto lens, but have enough room above and below their face so you can do some cropping. So we're going to choose a file, which we have here. There's my subject, my daughter, and we're going to go to next, and it takes just a moment or two to load that. And so here we are, and then we're going to just draw a crop, and we're going to center her, and we want these green bars where the chin is touching or in this bar and the top of the head is touching or in that bar. We can probably move it up just a fraction of an inch and another fraction, and we're just perfect there. So then we'll say next. Now, of course, they want to sell you a product. I mean, this website is not there for free, and certainly do that if you choose to, but be careful. You don't want the 12 passport photos. I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't think I would. So go for the 4, which is cheaper, and then on subsequent orders, you actually will get a 20% discount. So if you're doing a family, for instance, over the course of a couple of days, you can really save some money. But we're not going to even do that. We're just going to print our own. So we're going to say no thanks down here. And then it says download passport photo sheet, which is what we're going to do. It downloads very quickly here. We're going to click on it, and this isn't a Macintosh, so it might be different if you're using Windows, but this is the passport photo, and we're going to just print it right from here. So remember, we want to use our photo paper, and that's going to be in the printer, and we're going to say print. And here's another cautionary note. Make sure that your presets are set on some sort of a photo preset. Mine's on Photo Glossy here for this printer. I'm going to go with the landscape. And the thing to know, this particular little preview program scales it up to fill the sheet. So I want to make sure that that scale is clicked, and it's just going to be 100%. Otherwise, my photos will be too large. So just 100%, they shrink down. That's fine. Now I print. And in a few moments, I'm going to have a passport photo. I just cut them out and use them just like I'd use any other passport photo. They're going to be great and legit and legal and just fine. So there you go. Get your own passport photos for probably about $1 a set, as opposed to $10 or $15 a set. Again, boy, if you've got a bunch of kids like I do, those costs can really add up. And why not just do it at home and get a better picture? So, thanks for watching, and if you get some time, please give my podcast a listen, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike. It's free, it's on iTunes, and have a nice day. Thanks.